Students, we are discussing differentiation, de-differentiation and redifferentiation. Yes or no? In redifferentiation, we discussed a number of examples. Secondary xylem, secondary phloem, yes or no? Secondary cortex, right? Cork. All these are examples for what's a redifferentiation process. Is it okay? Right? Now, listen here. Sir, take a periderm. What's a periderm? Take a periderm. Periderm, it includes what? Periderm includes number 1, cork. Yes or no? Number 2, cork cambium. Cork cambium. Right? Next, number 3, secondary cortex. Secondary cortex. Yes or no? Sir, in these 3, cork cambium is formed by which process, sir? It is formed by de-differentiation process. Whereas cork is produced by which process, sir? Redifferentiation process. You should be very careful with these statements. Sir, secondary cortex is also formed by which process, sir? Redifferentiation process. Formed by which process, sir? Redifferentiation process. Is it okay? Right? Next word, bark. All these we read in first year, but once again we are checking these terms. Sir, take a bark. Is it okay? Sir, bark means, it includes what, sir? Number 1, secondary phloem. What it is, sir? Secondary phloem. What is the second one, sir? Second one is periderm. Just now we wrote periderm. What it is, sir? Periderm. But this periderm again includes what I told? Cork, cork cambium, and what, sir? Secondary cortex. Yes or no? What it includes? Cork. What more? Cork cambium, and what, sir? Secondary cortex. Secondary cortex. Yes or no? Right? Sir, this what is this one? Secondary phloem. Secondary phloem is formed by which process, sir? It is formed by which process? Redifferentiation process. Formed by redifferentiation process. Whereas secondary cortex is also formed by which process? It is also formed by redifferentiation process. Cork is formed by redifferentiation process. Yes or no? Whereas cork cambium is formed by which process, sir? De-differentiation process. Formed by de-differentiation process. Is this statements okay? Now listen here. Sir, bark. What it is? Bark. Sir, bark means secondary phloem plus periderm. Yes or no? Sir, secondary phloem, it is a product of vesicular cambium. Secondary phloem is a product of vesicular cambium. Whereas cork and secondary cortex, these two are products of what, sir? Cork cambium. Therefore, bark includes bark includes what, sir? Product of vesicular cambium. Product of what, sir? Vesicular cambium. And what more, sir? Products of cork cambium. Sir, bark, what it includes? Bark includes product of vesicular cambium. What is that product of vesicular cambium, sir? Secondary phloem. Secondary phloem. It also includes what, sir? Products of cork cambium. Sir, what are products of cork cambium, sir? Cork and secondary cortex. Secondary cortex. Is this statement okay? Now listen this statement. Sir, in bark, cork cambium is a part, but vesicular cambium is not a part. Therefore, bark, includes cork cambium, but not vesicular cambium. Yes or no? Right? Therefore, cork cambium is a part of bark, but vesicular cambium is not a part of bark. Right? Therefore, cork what? Cambium. What it is? Cork cambium is a part of bark. Cork cambium is a part of bark, but vesicular cambium but vascular cambium, right, is not a part of bark. See this statement, right? Sir, cork cambium, it is a part of bark, sir. But is vesicular cambium, it is a part of bark? No. Therefore, vesicular cambium is not a part of bark, but cork cambium is a part of bark. Is this statement clear, right? With this, we completed a differentiation, de-differentiation, redifferentiation. Now, listen this statement carefully. Sir, secondary vesicular tissues. What, sir? Secondary vesicular tissues. Sir, secondary vesicular tissues means what and what, sir? Secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Yes or no? Sir, these are formed by which process, sir? I already told you, they are formed by redifferentiation process. Sir, then what about secondary vesicular rays, sir? Secondary vesicular rays. What is another name for secondary vesicular rays? Secondary medullary rays. I am not saying primary medullary rays, I am saying secondary medullary rays. Sir, secondary vesicular rays are nothing but secondary medullary rays. What plus what, sir? Secondary xylem. What, sir? Secondary xylem rays. Be careful. Secondary xylem rays plus secondary phloem rays. Secondary xylem rays and secondary phloem rays. Secondary xylem rays and secondary phloem rays, these are secondary vesicular rays or secondary medullary rays. These are formed by which process, sir? They are also formed by redifferentiation process. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, secondary vesicular tissues, nothing but secondary xylem, secondary phloem, formed by redifferentiation process. Sir, secondary vesicular rays, also called as secondary medullary rays, right? What plus what? Secondary xylem rays, secondary phloem rays. These two together called as secondary vesicular rays or secondary medullary rays, formed by which process? Redifferentiation process. Formed by redifferentiation process. Sir, in first year we read one statement. Secondary xylem rays. Secondary xylem rays are also called as wood rays. Yes or no? Whereas secondary phloem rays are also called as bast rays. B-A-S-T. Is this statement okay? Therefore, secondary xylem rays, also called wood rays. Secondary phloem rays, also called as bast rays. Is it okay? Right? Go for the next topic, development, right? What's a development? Now listen. Sir, what is the meaning of development, sir? All changes that an organism, right? Especially here we are taking which organisms are plant, right? All changes that a plant undergoes in its life cycle, from seed germination. From where? Seed germination. From seed germination to senescence is called development. Is this statement okay? See here. What are the changes a plant is undergoing during its life cycle from seed germination to senescence? All the changes comes under development. Therefore, during life cycle of a plant, what changes a plant undergoes from seed germination to senescence? All that changes comes under what, sir? Development. Is it okay? Right? Sir, what is the meaning of senescence, sir? Aging process. Aging process is called as senescence. Yes or no? Right. Now, sir, in case of higher plants, in which plants, sir? In higher plants. In case of higher plants, sir, what is the sequence of this development, sir? What is the sequence of this development? Sir, I am taking a meristematic cell, sir. Which cell, sir? Meristematic cell. Meristematic cell. Meristematic cell means which can divide. Yes or no? Sir, in this meristematic cell, first what happens, sir? Plasmatic growth happens. Plasmatic growth happens. Sir, what is the meaning of plasmatic growth, sir? Nothing but growth in protoplasm. Growth in what? Protoplasm. So I am calling this one as a protoplasmic growth. Which growth, sir? This is protoplasmic growth. Sir, when this protoplasmic growth takes place, sir, it takes place during cell division. It takes place during what, sir? Cell division. Is it okay? Right. Sir, after plasmatic growth, what happens, sir? After plasmatic growth, cell elongation takes place. What takes place, sir? Cell elongation takes place. Sir, after cell elongation, sir, cell differentiation takes place. What takes place, sir? Cell differentiation takes place. Sir, after cell differentiation, maturation. Sir, due to this maturation process, what is formed, sir? A matured cell is formed, yes or no? What is formed, sir? A matured cell is formed. Matured cell is formed. Then comes what, sir? Senescence. Sir, after senescence, what happens, sir? Death. Is it okay? Right? We started with meristematic cell. First, plasmatic growth. There is growth in protoplasm, protoplasmic growth, which takes place during cell division. Then after what takes place? Cell elongation. Next, cell differentiation. Next, maturation. What is formed? Matured cell is formed, which undergoes a senescence, which leads to what, sir? After senescence, what happens? Leads to death. Yes or no? Right? Therefore, these are the stages of development in case of what, sir? In case of higher plants. In case of higher plants. Is it okay? Right? Now, listen this statement. Sir, plant produces different structures. Plant produces different structures in response to different environmental conditions. Different environmental conditions are in different phases of its life. See this statement? Sir, plant is producing different types of structures. Sir, plant is producing this different type of structures in response to what, sir? In different environmental conditions. It means if environmental condition in which the plant is living, if that environmental condition changes, the plant is producing different type of structures. Is it okay? Similarly, plant is producing different type of structures during different phases of its life. Plant is producing different type of structures in different phases of its life. It means plant is having ability to produce different type of structures. Yes or no? Plant is having ability to produce different type of structures in response to different environmental conditions or in different phases of its life. This ability of plant is called as a plasticity. Therefore, what is the meaning of plasticity? Ability of a plant to produce different types of structures in response to different environmental conditions or in different phases of its life is called as what, sir? Plasticity. Plasticity. Heterophily is an example for plasticity. Heterophily, right, is an example. Heterophily is an example for what, sir? Plasticity. Sir, this heterophily we read in first year in leaf topic. Yes or no? Sir, what is the meaning of phylly? Leaf. Hetero means different. Therefore, producing different type of leaves on the same plant. Yes or no? Hetero means different. Phylly means here leaf, here leaf. Therefore, different type of leaves are present on the same plant. Different type of leaves are present on the same plant. That is called as what, sir? Heterophily. What it is called as? Heterophily, right? Therefore, heterophily, what, sir? Presence of different types of leaves. Sir, different type of leaves means here how many type of leaves are present, sir? 2 or more than 2 types of leaves. 2 leaves or more than 2 type of leaves are present. Therefore, presence of different type of leaves where? On the same plant. On the same plant you are going to see what, sir? Different type of leaves. That is 2 or more than 2 types of leaves. It is called as what, sir? Heterophily. What it is called as? Heterophily. Heterophily. Right? Now listen the statements. Sir, in heterophily, right, the first case, environmental heterophily. What it is, sir? Environmental heterophily. Environmental heterophily, right? Second one is a developmental heterophily. What it is, sir? Developmental heterophily. Developmental heterophily, right? Sir, go for the first one. What it is, sir? Environmental heterophily. Name itself indicates. See, sir, hetero means different. Here, phylly means leaf. It means different types of leaves are present. Yes or no? Presence of different type of leaves in different environmental conditions. It means in different environmental conditions, plant is producing different type of leaves. It is called as what, sir? Environmental heterophily. Is it okay? Environmental heterophily is also called as ecological heterophily. This we already read in first year. Ecological heterophily. Yes or no? Therefore, plant produces what, sir? Plant produces different types of leaves. Plant is producing different type of leaves in different environmental conditions. It means if condition changes, if environmental condition changes, plant is producing different type of leaves. So we are calling this one as environmental heterophily, right? What are the examples for environmental heterophily? We read in first year, no? What are the examples? Number 1, Limnophylla or Limnophylla. Limnophylla. Complete name is Limnophylla heterophylla. Second one is Sagittaria. Yes or no? What is the common name of Sagittaria? You read in zoology also. What is the common name of Sagittaria? In ecology we got it. Arrowhead. What it is? Arrowhead. Right? And third example is a ranunculus. Right? Ranunculus. Ranunculus. What is the common name of ranunculus, sir? Buttercup. What it is, sir? Buttercup. Is it okay? Right? Therefore, what are the examples for environmental heterophily, sir? Examples for environmental heterophily. What, sir? Limnophila, Sagittaria, Ranunculus. Sir, in first year, we got these three examples for amphibious plants. Yes or no? Sir, amphibious plants? They are amphibious plants are a type of hydrophytes. Hydrophytes are of 5 types. Yes or no? Panch Pataka, right? Hydrophytes are of 5 types. In these 5 types of hydrophytes, these 3 comes under which hydrophytes? Amphibious plants. Therefore, Limnophila, Sagittaria, Ranunculus. These are what's that? Hydrophytes. Which hydrophytes? Amphibious. These are amphibious plants. I am not saying amphibian. I am saying amphibious plants. Amphibious plants are a type of what, sir? Hydrophytes. Amphibious plants, they are a type of what, sir? They are a type of hydrophytes. Is this statement okay? Right. Now, listen this statement. Sir, here we are discussing which heterophily, sir? Environmental heterophily. Which heterophily, sir? Environmental heterophily. Now, see here. For example, right, this hand, it indicates water level. It means this is water surface of the water. Now see, this part of the plant is above the water surface. This part of the plant is below the water surface. Yes or no? This is below the water surface, submerged part of the plant. This is above the water surface, aerial part of the plant. Yes or no? Sir, submerged leaves, they are completely dissected. Dissected means cut. Sir, these are normal leaves. Yes or no? These are aerial leaves. Therefore, aerial leaves are normal, whereas submerged leaves are dissected. Dissected means cut. Now you tell me, on this plant, how many type of leaves are present? 2 type of leaves. What are they? Aerial leaves are normal leaves. Submerged leaves are what, sir? Dissected leaves. It means on the same plant you are seeing 2 types of leaves. Why, sir? Because environmental condition is different. Here it is air, here it is water. Yes or no? Therefore, if environment changes, the type of leaves produced by the plant also changes. Is it okay? Therefore, this becomes which heterophily, sir? It becomes environmental heterophily. What it becomes? Environmental heterophily, right? 3 examples we discussed. Number 1, Limnophila. Number 2, Sagittaria, and third one is Ranunculus, right? Sir, in case of these 3 plants, right, aerial leaves are present, submerged leaves are present, right? Sir, how the submerged leaves are? Submerged leaves are dissected. Dissected means cut. They are dissected leaves. Whereas how the aerial leaves are, sir? Normal, without any dissection, without any cut. Right? Aerial leaves are normal leaves. Aerial leaves are what, sir? Normal leaves. Is it okay? Right? Sir, submerged leaves, it means they are in water. Yes or no? It means aquatic. Sir, aerial leaves, I am saying aerial leaves, right? Therefore, in air, terrestrial, Is it okay? Right? Now go for second case. What it is, sir? Developmental heterophily, right? Name itself indicates during different developmental stages, plant produces different type of leaves. Plant is producing different type of leaves in different developmental stages. Plant produces what? Different types of what? Leaves in different developmental stages. Therefore, during different developmental stages, plant is producing different type of leaves. Is it okay? Sir, developmental heterophily examples. Developmental heterophily examples. Number 1, cotton. Number 2, coriander. Coriander. Number 3, larkspur. Larkspur. Sir, what is the genus name of cotton, sir? Genus name of cotton, Gossypium. Yes or no? Sir, coriander. What is the genus word of coriander, sir? Coriandrum. Remembered? Coriandrum sativum. Right. Larkspur is also called as a delphinium. Larkspur is also called as what, sir? Delphinium. Therefore, cotton, coriander, larkspur, these three are examples for which heterophily, sir? These three are examples for developmental heterophily. Now listen this statement. Sir, in cotton, coriander, larkspur, in juvenile phase, young, right? In juvenile phase, the shape of leaves, and in adult stage, the shape of leaves is different. Juvenile stage, one type of leaves. Adult stage, another type of leaves. It means in different developmental stages producing different type of leaves. Is it okay? Right? Therefore, different shape of leaves. Different shape of leaves in what and what? In juvenile stage and adult stage. It means in juvenile stage, what is the shape of leaves? Do the plant is having same shape of leaves in adult stage also? No. It means the plant is producing different shape of leaves right, in different developmental stages is this statement. Okay. But see in this case, sir, in the case of Limnophila, Sagittaria and Ranunculus, the shape of leaf is different in different environmental conditions. Yes or no? Therefore, what is different, sir? Shape of leaves different. Shape of leaves different in different environmental conditions. Therefore, in different environmental conditions, it is producing different type of leaves. Is it okay? Sir, in first year for a developmental heterophily, we read one more example. That is Dolichos lab. Yes or no? Sir, in case of Dolichos lab, initially the leaves are simple leaves. Yes or no? Initially, which leaves are present, sir? Simple leaves are present. But when plant becomes adult, it is having which leaves, sir? Trifoliate compound leaves. Which leaves are present, sir? Trifoliate compound leaves are present. Therefore, Dolichos lab is also an example for developmental heterophily. In Dolichos lab, initially simple leaves are present. But when the plant becomes adult, in later stages, you are going to see trifoliate compound leaves. What, sir? Trifoliate compound leaves. Is this statement okay? Right? This is concerned to what, sir? Heterophily. Heterophily is an example for plasticity. Right? Now, listen here. Sir, in plants, growth, differentiation and development are closely related events. What, sir? Growth, differentiation, what more? Development. Sir, in plants, this growth, differentiation and development, these three are closely related. These three are closely related events. These are closely related events. In introduction, we read one statement: development is equals to growth plus differentiation. Yes or no? What, sir? Development is equals to what plus what, sir? Growth plus differentiation. Growth plus differentiation. These two together called as what, sir? It is called as development. Now listen this statement. Sir, development means what plus what, sir? Development means growth plus differentiation. Yes or no? What plus what? Growth plus differentiation. Sir, this development means that is growth plus differentiation depends on which factors? Depends on which factors? Number one, intrinsic factors. Intrinsic factors as well as extrinsic factors. What and what, sir? Intrinsic factors and extrinsic factors. Extrinsic factors. Is it okay? Right? What are the first one, sir? Intrinsic factors. Sir, intrinsic factors means internal factors. Yes or no? Intrinsic factors means internal factors. This statement is important. Listen carefully. Sir, intrinsic factors also called as what, sir? Internal factors. Sir, these intrinsic factors, they may be intracellular, I am saying intracellular. Second one is intercellular. What is the first one, sir? Intracellular. Intracellular means nothing but genes, that is genetics. Genes. Is it okay? Sir, intercellular chemicals. Chemicals like plant growth regulators. Is this statement okay? Therefore, genes are intracellular intrinsic factors, whereas plant growth regulators are intercellular intrinsic factors. Should be careful. Intracellular intrinsic genes, intercellular intrinsic chemicals such as plant growth regulators. Sir, then what about extrinsic factors, sir? What about extrinsic factors, sir? What about extrinsic factors? What are these extrinsic factors, sir? Right? Number one, light. Number two, temperature. Right? Next, number three, oxygen. Number four, water. Next one is nutrition. What's sir? Nutrition. Therefore, light, temperature, oxygen, water, nutrition. All these are which factors, sir? Extrinsic factors. Listen this statement. Sir, development depends on. Development means what and what? Growth and differentiation. Development depends on intrinsic and extrinsic factors. Intrinsic factors may be intracellular or intercellular. Intracellular genes, intercellular chemicals like plant growth regulators. Sir, extrinsic factors on which the growth differentiation depends. Number one, light. Number two, temperature. Number three, oxygen. Number four, water. Number five, nutrition. Is it okay? With this, we completed development, right? In the next class, we will go for plant growth regulators. Plant growth regulators, right? Thank you.